Hi, my sewing lovers. Welcome to my channel. My name is Johanna. If this is your first time clicking in, thank you so much. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Yeah, we do everything fashion talk, sewing tutorial. If you're a fashion lover, if you're a sewing lover, yeah, it's the right place for you. So today I'll be doing a tutorial on how to draft a corset bustier. So this video is going to be about drafting a corset bustier, and I will also be doing a separate video on how to sew a corset bustier. So make sure you watch this video to the end, and I'll be doing a corset bustier from the basic bodice. So I'll be starting from the basic bodice, then manipulating it to a corset bustier. So if you don't know how to draft a basic bodice, I have it on my channel. It has a very nice fit, so check it out before you watch the corset bustier. It's going to be very detailed, so let's get to it. For this tutorial, I'll be needing my basic bodice block with bust darts. I have a tutorial on how to draft this basic bodice block on my channel. You can check it out. It's very beginners friendly and also has various advanced tips. I also share the technique on how to remove the excess fabric on the center back. Next, I trace out my basic bodice block on a separate paper so that I could manipulate my corset bustier on it. So the materials I'll be needing to draft this corset bustier are tracing wheel, my rulers, that is my straight ruler and my curve ruler, my tape measure, my pattern weight. I made this pattern weight a while ago and it has been so helpful. My calculator, marker or pencil, paper, scissors, inspiration sketch. I like having a sketch before I do my pattern so that it can be of guide. Some measurements, my bust circumference, under bust circumference, waist circumference, and shoulder to neckline. So let's start by drafting the front corset bustier. So the first thing I'll be doing is to determine where I want my neckline to start. So I want my neckline to start 7 inches from my shoulder line. So I would mark, first of all I would measure 7 inches, then I would mark on my borders. Then I'll connect those dots with a straight line. Perfect. So I would measure my shoulder line and determine my midpoint and mark. Then I connect the marking of my midpoint to the bust point. So that will serve as my shoulder dart line. So next I'll go to my chest line. I would remove any gaping for my neckline. So I would use 0.5 inch on each side so that my corset would sit flat on my chest. Then I'll connect the 0.5 inches to the bust point as a dart. So now let's draw the shape of our neckline. So I'll be using my curved ruler to draw a sweetheart curve. So from the 7-inch line, I would go down by 2 inches, that is my chest line. That is where my sweetheart neckline would stop. So now I have a beautiful curve. So if you want yours to go even lower, you can use your curve ruler to slightly have a curvier neckline. So for my side front, I will give it a curve just as I'm doing in the video. Perfect. So next I'll go to my underbust line. For my underbust line, I'll do a technique called the underbust tightening. I want that nice fit around my bust and my underbust. So I'll be using my underbust circumference. My underbust circumference is 28 inches and I will divide 28 inches by 4 and that will give me 7 inches. So I would measure 7 inches on my underbust line and also measure the excess, which is 1.25 inches. So I'll use that excess to create a dart or the tightening. So that is the measurements I'll be using to create my underbust tightening. So I would share it 0.5 and 0.75. So for my center front I would go 0.5 and for my side front I would go 0.75. Then I would take my curved ruler. For my center front I would use the not curvy side of the ruler to connect from the bust point to my underbust. Next, I'll go to my side front and use the curvy side to connect my bust point to my underbust. It's important to use your curvy side for your side front because that is where your bust is going to sit. So you need to have enough room for your bust. So you can see how the cup looks like. So next, I'll go to my waist. For my waist, I want to do something different. I don't want to use my original waist, so I want to use 27 inches. So I subtracted 2 inches from my original waist. So 27 inches is my new waist. So 27 inches divided by 4, which is 6.75 inches. So I would measure 6.75 inches on my waistline. Then I also measure the excess. So I'll be using the excess measurement to create the dart. So for the center front, I would use 0.5 and for the side front, I would use 1.25. It's very easy. So it's better you use more dart intake on your side front. That is the technique I like using. So I'll connect my underbust to my waistline with a straight ruler. Perfect. So next, from the top length, I would go up by 2 inches and I'll mark. Then I would connect my waist to the 2 inches I marked earlier. So after this, you can add more panels if you want, but I decided to stick to 2 panels. So you can draw a line at the middle of this panels and have more than 2 panels. So you can have 4 or 5 panels. It depends on your design. So if you look at the video right now, you can see the way I'm showing you. You can draw in a line and also do a bit of that intake to have a nice fit. So now I would move to my basque waistline. So to determine my basque waistline, I'll go down from the waistline by 3 inches and I would mark. And I would also go down from my top length about 2.5 inches or 2 inches. It depends on how you want it to be. Then I'll connect the line. So there are different ways you can do your basque waistline. If you want it very exaggerated, you can start your basque from the waist. Then you can have a very long V or a very long basque waistline. So it's just your own preference. So I'll take my paper scissors and cut through my bust span line so that I could close my bust dart. Remember, we have a bust dart, don't forget. Then I'll pinch a bit of my pattern paper. So I'll pinch that line, the bottom line, then I'll fold it over to get to my bust line. Then I'll also connect it. You can see that there is a bit of left over on my bust line, so I connected it from my armhole so that it can have a full bust. Then I'll tape my dart so that it can stay in place. And that is it, guys. You are done with your corset bustier. It's very easy. You just have to know your basic techniques, which is your underbust tightening and your waist snatching. It's very easy. So the more you practice, the more you get it. So now I'm just cutting out the panels. Make sure you cut out the dart only, don't cut out the ones you need. So just watch the videos and you'll know the right one to cut. So now I'm just adding notches. So that is it for the front. So I'm just writing all my labels, my center front and my side front, and we're done. So let's move on to the back corset bustier. So the first thing I'll do is to determine where I want my back neckline to start. So I'll be using my chest line as my neckline for the back. I don't want anything fancy for my neckline, I just want a straight neckline. So I'll draw a straight neckline for the back. So next, I would remove 2 inches from the center back. That is where my back lace would sit. And I'll connect it all the way to the neckline. So I'll create a dart on the line on my bust span line. So this line was originally on my bodice block, but I would create another line because I want 3 panels on my back bodice. So I went about 2 inches from my bust span and I created another line. Then this is my bust span line, my original dart line. So to have a very nice fit at the back, I would be doing 0.25 inches on each side, but make sure you take out your dart from the waist. Then I connect it all the way to the neckline, or about 0.25 from the neckline. And I'll also be connecting the same as I did and the first dart. It's very easy, guys. The back this is the most easy part. So I'm also marking it, my center back 1, and my side back. So to get the length of my back, I'll be using my side back for this, or you can go 3 inches from my waist. Then you can make your waistline any shape you want. You can make it V if you want some drama, or you can leave it as straight or slantly straight, but I want straight, so I would be doing a straight waistline. So that is it, guys. So I'm just gonna cancel out the dart line. So these are the part we're going to cut out, and the X part we don't need. And remember the back lace, where the lace would sit, also we don't need that. So the back lace would help with our snatch. So now I'm just cutting out my pattern pieces, and because our pattern pieces for the back are the same, I mark the top line, which is the neckline, so that it will guide me while cutting my pattern pieces. So now this is it, guys. This is how my pattern pieces look like. I hope you learned something from this tutorial. It is very, very easy, and you're going to get a perfect fit. So my next video, I would teach you guys how you're going to go about the sewing and putting together this lovely corset. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate, and it will go a long way. Thank you, guys. Have a beautiful day, and bye bye from me.